Tala, tugon ng pamahalaan sa estado ng African Swine Fever sa bansa, presyo ng mga bilihin at supply ng mga pangunahing pagkain natin pong pag-uusapan. Kasama muli si Department of Agriculture Secretary William Dar. Good morning, magandang araw po, Secretary.
Good morning, Aljo, at good morning, Yusek Raki. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.
Opo, nire-rekomenda po ng ilang mga mambabatas kay Pangulong Duterte SEC na magpadupad na ng state of emergency dulot ng African Swine Fever. Panahon na nga ba para magdeklara tayo ng state of emergency para at least matulungan po ang mga apektadong mga magbababoy, hog raisers?
We are finalizing our recommendations base doon sa rekomendasyon ng galing po sa Senado. So anytime this week, we will be sending our position and recommendation to the Palace.
Opo. Hindi pa sapat ang tulong pinansyal na binibigay ngayon ng Agriculture Department sa mga nag-aalaga po ng baboy, Sec?
Well, let me mention that the budget that we have this year, for example, in the livestock and poultry program, we only have 1.5 billion. Now, for the repopulation program, this year we are using that level of about 1.1 billion to do repopulation. And let me highlight ano yung components nitong 1.1 billion na mayroon na tayong pera doon.
Opo.
400 million will be used to establish breeder farms para mas marami tayong mga partners na may bigay later. Another 200 million will be used to repopulate yung ASF affected areas nung earlier, yung ASF affected areas with sentinel approach. Anong ibig sabihin po ito? After 90 days na wala nang incidents ng African Swine Fever sa isang lugar, ay maglalagay tayo ng mga live piglets to try once more itong areas na ito. So yun ang sentinel approach. So we are spending in ASF earlier affected areas 200 million. And once these are not there already, I mean the ASF virus, we will consider a bigger repopulation program. Now, on top of that, Aljo, we have 500 million for loans to backyard hog raisers, zero interest, payable in 5 years. So ito yung 1.1 billion. Now, mayroon rin tayong budget na 1.5 billion. Yeah, 1.5 billion para sa bantay African Swine Fever sa barangay.
Opo.
So if you add itong repopulation program na 1.1 plus yung 1.5 billion for ASF control and containment ay 2.6 billion available money. So we have realigned some of the monies that we have today this year for this fight against the African Swine Fever and repopulating the hog industry.
Opo,
now,
opo.
Gusto ko rin idagdag, Aljo. Now, we have secured from Land Bank 15 billion pesos, 12 billion pesos from DBP, so total of 27 billion as loan program to reinvigorate the hog industry at concessional rates. So mababa yung interest rates, not like the commercial rates that we had before. So these are the initial support that government will do. And let me add that the government is also going to fund 22% of the insurance premium for the hog raisers, particularly the commercial hog raisers. So, ganun po ang aming mga tulong. At mayroon, of course, itong, kung tatanungin mo, is this enough? Of course, this is not enough.
Opo, Secretary, sa pagdinig po ng Senado ay inakusahan ng mga taga-industriya ng hog raising ang Agriculture Department na nagdudoktor daw ng mga numero para ma-justify ang importation ng karne sa ibang bansa. At gusto rin nilang ipatigil ang pagbaba ng taripa para sa mga imported na karne. Ano pong tugon ninyo dyan?
We took exception to that call or that accusation by a hog raiser. That's not true.
Opo.
We are not. Our data are transparently displayed or can be shown anytime, and we have basis for submitting and recommending the increase of MAB, the minimum access volume. So I have told during that hearing that the DA is not in that business of doctoring data. And in regard to the tariff, okay, in general, let me mention,
Opo.
because there is this deficiency, almost 400,000, you know, we need to increase the MAB. That's one strategy. At the same time, you have to, meanwhile, these are temporary actions like the lowering of tariff. So jointly with increasing the minimum access volume and the lowering of tariff, this will discourage smuggling of pork, and this will encourage more of the pork that will be imported to really be sold openly in the markets.
Sec, dahil po sa ASF, nagpatupad si Pangulong Duterte ng price cap sa mga karneng baboy. So far, ay masasabi ba nating epektibo ito na palawigin pa, i-extend natin hanggang month of Abril?
Yeah, that's the total of 60 days, Aljo. So the price cap is being monitored. We have monitored 33 markets in Metro Manila, all selling pork. There's not any market that is not selling pork. So we mobilize average of 4,500 hogs a day. So there is enough of this, and the price cap is holding.
Opo, hindi ba kayo nangangamba, Sec, na sa banta ng mga traders na ito pong malawakang pork, pati na ang manok, chicken holiday sa mga palengke?
Wala naman holiday. We have enough pork.
Opo.
As I've said, in 33 markets that monitor,
Opo.
mayroon available, lahat sila mayroon na tinitinda na karneng baboy.
Nagpaabot po kayo ng suporta sa mga apektadong market vendors. Ilan na po sa kanila ang nakapag-loan at paano po ito nakatulong para maiwasan po yung itong problema natin sa pork holiday?
Yeah, the ACPC, which is an agency of the DA, has extended loans to Market Vendors Association at the rate of 5 million pesos each. Para sa ganun, may puhunan ang mga market vendors. Now, on top of that, Aljo, we are also offering the market vendors wanting to buy chillers for frozen pork, so that this is part of the regulation in regard to imported items, dapat nandyan sa mga freezers or chillers para we always ensure food safety of the consuming public.
Opo. Sec, may tanong lang ang ating mga kasamahan sa media. Babasahin ko po from Rose Novenario ng Hataw. Ano po daw ang partisipasyon ng Department of Agriculture sa DV Bower Farm Inc. ni Dexter Villamin at umano'y inendorso ito noong 2018 bilang partner ng DA. Ayon umano kay Yusek Ranibay Dilanggalen, ngayon ay naharap po ang DV Bower sa umano'y multi-bilyong pisong syndicated estafa na mga biktima po karamihan ay OFWs.
Wala kaming kaugnayan dyan, nadatnan ko na yan na problema. So we dissociated ourselves with him.
Follow po, anong may tutulong ng DA sa mga umano'y naging biktima po ni Ginoong Villamin? Di umano?
Then they have just to bring him to court.
Court, opo. Mula naman kay Shaila Francisco ng TV5, ang ilang mga importers at mga processors warn that the recent UK poultry ban along with the current ban in Netherlands and in Germany may raise prices of processed meat products. Ano po ang gagawin natin para masiguro hindi po ito mangyari?
Yeah, pinag-aaralan po natin, Aljo, mayroon yung prinsipyo na sa isang bansa na hindi naman lahat, the whole country is not affected by a certain virus or disease. Ay doon sa mga zones or areas na regions na hindi apektado, we are looking at the possibility of giving permits basta makita po namin na walang incidents dito sa mga areas nito.
Mensahe na lang po, Secretary William Dar, sa ating pong mga tagapakinig at nanonood po ngayon.
Yeah, una, Aljo, let me give you this one. Ito yung number of ASF positive incidents report given by our Bantay ASF sa barangay. If you look at during the third quarter of 2020, ang very high number of incidents, August for one is 1,773. Then it was going down in October, 597. Pababa na yan hanggat December, 360 incidents. Then itong taon na ito, January, ay 358. Itong Marso, as of this date, ay 62 incidents. So I would like to believe na we are, this is a sign, this is an indication that elevated quarantine and surveillance strategies that we have put in place are really working, and we will continue to do so, and much more with working with the local government units and the added PPEs that we have in order to enhance monitoring and surveillance of those areas potential for ASF incursion.
Opo.
So this is such a good indication. We will continue this fight, and the last point is again to encourage both the backyard hog raisers and commercial hog raisers to be a part of the solution para lahat po ng incidents na nandyan sa kanayunan ay dapat isangguni agad sa mga kawani ng Bureau of Animal Industry, ng mga regional field offices at sa mga provincial, local government units, municipal and city. So, laban tayo sa SF. This is the time really to unite and be one and see to it that we will succeed in this fight against African Swine Fever. Lastly, in order for all of us to have higher level of food during this pandemic, we have to advocate for this plant program where
Sec? Ako naputol si Secretary Dar. Well, anyway, thank you so much sa inyong panahon. DA, Department of Agriculture, Secretary William Da.